You got this imagination that you would love to become that superstar. You have this imagination that you would love to drive in that dream car that you want, right? You're a person that works really hard, but for some reason, you would love to have own your own business, right? And that business could be a clothing store, but you actually work in a clothing store. And a lot of times, you know, the person that you want to talk to, see if you can move into management, is just not trying to hire you. No matter what, you work harder than a manager. You done did, everything that's going on. But guess what? They those same people, for example, your boss, your manager, having you doing their job. And the type of pay that you're getting is not it's not what you expect. It's the same, but they're just lowballing you. Listen, yeah, like I said, lowballing you financially, right? But listen, how about this? You're doing so much, and you're working so hard to put in the time and the energy to just get a promotion and to just do what you have to do to elevate into the next level. But all you're doing is just stressing it out. You're wondering why it's not happening, and also too, like, you can't even sleep at night. For example, you wish that, for example, you would love to have $1,000, at least $1,000 in your pocket saved. But 9 times out of 10, no matter what you do, something always comes up. You just stressing because it's like it could never happen. How about I tell you this? That $1,000 that you want is there. That that business that you want, it's already there. But you ever thought about putting yourself in that position mentally and seeing yourself? Because when you actually can see yourself, you can actually be that person that actually have it already, right? So one of the things that you have to realize is that, and I had to realize that myself, is that, look, it came a point of time in my life where instead of just dreaming about it, I thought and see myself, right? If that makes sense, having those things or being that, right? But before I get into the video, let me introduce myself. And I'm going to tell you the title. This is Gene, best friend, your new best friend. And I invite you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. And today we're going to talk about, and I wrote it down, of course, to attract what you want, you must first become it. Listen, I'm a living testimony, right? I'm a living testimony in these times right now that it was one point in my life where I would dream about having something just as little as just having, I won't say little because some people don't have it, but let's say I wanted to attract $200 and I needed $200, right? At one point, I used to be, when it came to just having the $200, I was like, oh my gosh, I hit the jackpot. I had to work, a 9 to 5, and I'll be lucky to even have 175, 180. I got into a point in my life where, and now, like, when I think about it, I'm just thinking, $200, I can get that with no problem. I can. The minute I say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna get $200. All right, if it's something that like costs 400, or it's like a flight ticket, it costs 400, and I'm down by 200. I'll say, okay, I'll get it by at the end of this week. No lie, I see myself, and I already imagine me having that $400, meaning that extra $200 already by the end of the week. You gotta understand that in life, whatever you do, it starts off right here. Now, I don't make as much videos about, attracting the things that you want, only because, not saying that's not important, but I truly believe that anything that you want and anything that you want to accomplish, you can get it. If you like this video, by the way, I invite you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. And also, if you like this video, that by the end of it, yo, just comment below and just tell me, yo, you like it, you want me to do more videos about it. No problem. But listen, it was a point in my life where I remember when I was in my early 20s, mid 20s, even my early 30s, where I thought it was just so rare to someone to just make even just $1,000. Now, don't get me wrong, $1,000 is a lot of money. $200 is a lot of money. $100 is a lot of money. But it really depends how you see if it's a lot of money or not. Now, it is a lot of money, but do you believe that it's a lot of money to you? Now, for me personally, just getting $100, I look at it, okay, it's second nature. I could just get it. 200, I could just get it. Even 500, I could just make that. Even 1,000 now, because whatever you want to become, whatever you want to do, you can become it. Because all it starts off is right here, and once you start thinking about it and you see yourself, you have to believe it. Let's believe me. In life, everything is all about how you feel. If you don't feel like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna become the next big artist, I'm gonna be, you know, that business that I want. If you don't see yourself becoming it or being that person, 9 times out of 10 you're not gonna become that, and all you're gonna do is just let yourself down. You gotta understand, a lot of the words that you say, you speak to yourself, and the things that you say, you say about yourself, it's really a reflection of how you feel about yourself. Like, for example, if you are a person that, you know, that failed at something, like let's say you wanted to, you know, get this job, and you say, oh my gosh, I'm so dumb, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm never gonna get a job. Then that's what's gonna happen. You gotta realize in life, you got to speak life into yourself. And I remember, you know, this is like a testimony. It was a point in my life where I used to always think so little of myself, especially when I was 18. And I always said to myself, especially now, if I can go back when I was 18, 17 years old, when I was by myself and I used to just think and overstress too much, and I was to see myself and go back, I'll just give myself a hug. Even if I had some money in my pocket, like, you know what I mean, I'll give them, like, hey, here's $1,000, put that in your hand, just so I can just motivate myself and just, you know what I mean, believe that, okay, it's gonna be okay. Because a lot of it too has to do with generational curses, right? Because we see our family, what they go through and what they telling you how life is, and they put that in your head and make you believe that. But how about this? One of the things too is breaking those generational curses, right? I made videos about this in the past, is believing that you're gonna be that person, that next billionaire, that millionaire. Now, myself, I'm already a millionaire. How about that? I'm not gonna say I haven't made my millions yet. I am a millionaire. It's just that I haven't received it. I'm waiting for it to, I haven't received it yet, and I'm waiting for the millions of dollars to come in my bank account. If that makes sense, right? So where I'm going with this is this. You have to be that person that you want to be, no matter what it is. Because nobody's going to sit there and tell you, hey, you're going to be that next business person. You're not going to be that, you know, you're going to be that next basketball player. You know what you should do if you want to go travel like me? That's one of the things too when I manifest, right? I start putting change away, little dollars here and there for spending money, right? Like, for example, if I was to go to the Dominican Republic, which I used to go to a lot. Now, I know that just to get the flight ticket, you can be able to even, you know, you can get a flight ticket with no problem now, you know what I mean? But back then, what I used to do, if I need a flight ticket and it cost me $300, right? Even if I had just $10 in my pocket, right? I'm working so much, I got bills to pay, and my goal is to just go to the Dominican Republic in the next month or two, no, 2 months, 3 months, right? I have just $10 in my pocket. The goal is for me by the end of this month is just pay for my ticket, right? Tickets go up and down. I imagine that the ticket is gonna be the same price that I see it now, which is 300. Even if I just have $10, I'll get an envelope. I'll put flight ticket money to Dominican Republic. I'll just put that $10 in there. Now, mind you, I don't have $300. I just have that 10, right? Boom. Put that $10 in there. Next thing you know, you could be walking down the street, an example, you could find $10 on the floor or 20. Boom. You could do a job, you could do a gig. Now, for those of you that are into gigs, this is where it's definitely gonna work. Yo, you could do a gig and you could do something for like, these times, especially 2 or 3 days, and you can make like 250, right? Mind you, you found $20 on the floor, 100. So all you left in another 2 weeks, you're probably gonna put 250, after taxes, let's say 220. I'm just talking 220, like boom. So that 220, oh wow, you know what I mean? Mind you, you only had $10 left. You took that and cashed your check, and next thing you know, somebody owed you that you forgot owed you $50. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? And then boom, you only have just a couple of dollars left, and you just mind yourself, oh, I got another check. I work a 9 to 5, and I have $50 left. So you done already saved, and you have a little bit of money left that you get where I'm coming from. So that's how when you manifest and you believe. When you believe something in something, it's gonna happen to you just like that. But this is the trick. Don't stress about it. Don't worry about it. If it's something that you want to do, if something that you want to, you want to, like a place you want to travel, yo, you gotta be that person. Nobody's gonna tell you how to be that person but you. You do your research and you find it. Another thing, like the Dominican Republic, I remember I used to go find resorts, right? And they had deals for like, at the time, this was like early 2016, 17, wow. Yo, for 2 people, $75 to go to a resort. $75 a day. I'll go there for 3 days. Tax money came in, had money left over, boom, pay that off. So anything that you want to do, anything you want to accomplish, you got to be that person. Like that business, right? Yo, you got to think of yourself very highly. Now, if you're around people that's low vibing, that's the thing that's going to kill your dreams and kill anything that you want to do. You got to get away from them. Anybody that's talking against what you got to do, and even that, I won't even tell people what you want to do, what you want to get into. It's not their business. Like I said, you got to be that person that you want to. You got to be that person. Just put it like that. Anything that you want to accomplish, be that person that, okay, I'm going to get those things. That $1,000, okay, it's nothing. By the end of this month, I'm going to get that 1,000. Next thing you know, you could be walking down the street and you find $900. Now, this is the thing. If you are manifesting $1,000 and you found $900 on the floor, what does that mean? Did you find $1,000? Close enough. That's because you was manifesting it. That's going to motivate you even more, right? So sometimes what you imagine to and what you want don't always come exactly how it's supposed to be when you think about it, but it comes in different ways. You know what I mean? Like, for example, you may come across someone, that you want to have a business, right? Let's use that as an example. Now, you may have to start off just selling, shirts. You know what I mean? You may want to start selling online. That's a business, right? And then until you make more money, then you can grow, and then you can save, and then you got investors coming in, and then I'm sure you get where I'm coming from. So like I said, to attract what you want, you must become that person. All right? Become it, all right? Trust me, I got so many stories. I can go on and on and on, but I just felt like I had to make a video because in these times now where things are just getting rough, the economy, you know, things are getting so pricey. Trust me, it's something out there for everyone, and you just got to become that person to get the things you want. All right. So if you like my video, I invite you guys to please like, share, and subscribe to your best friend, your new best friend, and also in the description below, comment pinned to the top. Again, it's talking about business, right? This is my business. Keep up with the latest luxury styles and trends at gorgeous271.com. All right. Peace.